people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean? They actually lying to y'all for a living, but as you can see, you know what I mean, live in a living color.
If you thought the Drake versus Kendrick drama was already at its peak, you might want to buckle up, because things are spinning into a whole new level of madness. The streets are buzzing that Drake is secretly cooking up another diss track, while at the same time clowning Kendrick nonstop on Instagram, like he's begging for smoke. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Drizzy really stand toe-to-toe with Kendrick without leaning on his longtime shield, J. Prince? For years, J. Prince has been Drake's hidden armor, the man who always slid in when the heat turned unbearable. His silent protector, his fixer behind the curtain. But when Kendrick dropped that lethal warning, telling Drake he could shelf his son for ages, suddenly J. Prince vanished into thin air. No calls, no defense, just radio silence. And sources close to the camp claim Drake is burning inside, feeling completely abandoned at the moment he needed backup most. Drake was certain Houston, and especially J. Prince, would rally behind him in this war with Kendrick. Instead, the opposite happened.
Drake got Not Like Us banned in Houston. That's not unbothered. That's bothered. He put a cease and desist on Not Like Us. A stop order on Not Like Us.
Insiders say he even teased an unreleased Kendrick diss inside a Houston nightclub, expecting the whole place to explode with energy. But when the track played, nothing. No cheers, no hype, just dead silence. The kind of silence that cuts deeper than any diss line could. And it doesn't end there. Word on the street says Drake tried pulling rank by ordering Houston clubs to ban Kendrick's anthem, Not Like Us. He figured J. Prince would flex his muscle to make it happen, but the Houston DJs didn't blink. They spun the record louder than ever, and the anthem kept shaking the city every single night. Even local weathermen jumped in on the trolling, sliding Not Like Us references into their forecasts, turning Drake into the punchline of Houston's running joke. So what's the real story between Drake and Houston right now? Did the untouchable alliance between Drake and the so-called boogeyman of the industry, J. Prince, finally crack wide open? And here's the question everyone's whispering. Why did J. Prince ghost Drake at the exact moment his protection mattered most? Rumors swirl that Kendrick might be holding receipts on J. Prince, and that could be the very reason for his chilling silence. For years, J. Prince was Drake's guardian angel, his fixer, his bulletproof vest in the industry. Anytime someone tried to drag Drake down, Prince was there, sweeping up the mess before it spiraled out of control. Just think back to when Pusha T dropped the bomb, exposing Drake for allegedly being a deadbeat dad. It was J. Prince who swooped in.
People outside of Texas think J. Prince run Texas. The people in Houston don't think that.
WAP 100 was here last week. He don't think so either.
Well, only the people who believe the myth that Suge Knight was as bad as he was. And Suge Knight wasn't bad.
So is J. Prince just marketing?
J. Prince is a music mogul. Nothing else. He's a music mogul. He's in the entertainment music industry. He ain't no mafia boss. Mob ties is not a real mob.
Silencing the chaos before Drake could clap back and dig himself into a deeper hole. Prince even claimed Drake was loaded up, ready to torch both Pusha and Kanye. But let's be honest, if Drake had something truly devastating, J. Prince would have let him fire. The truth is, J. Prince always knew Drake's ammo wasn't heavy enough to survive Pusha's story of a Didon. So instead of letting his golden boy get buried alive, he pulled the plug. That wasn't just loyalty, it was damage control, protecting a business empire. And when it came to Kanye, that feud turned into a never-ending circus. Years of sneak disses, cheap shots, and shady moves. Yet somehow, J. Prince forced a ceasefire, dragging Drake and Kanye onto the same stage for the Larry Hoover benefit concert in December 2021. Without Prince pulling strings, that so-called peace would have never seen daylight. When NBA YoungBoy decided to test Drake, J. Prince came storming in like a bulldozer. He wasn't about to let even a rising superstar take shots at his guy. Word on the block says Prince didn't just check him. He allegedly sent goons to YB's spot, stripped him of valuables, and then tried to bait him back by promising he could recover what was stolen. But YoungBoy wasn't buying it. Instead, He hopped on IG Live and lit up Jay Prince publicly, exposing him for trying to run games in the shadows. And it wasn't just Youngboy. Even Diddy got a taste of Prince's wrath. Remember when Diddy slapped Drake in the middle of a packed club? Most people would have brushed it off, but not Jay Prince. He clapped back with an entire diss record, taking aim at Diddy, Birdman, Lil Wayne, and even Suge Knight, making one thing crystal clear: Drake was off limits. Prince even sent a bone-chilling warning. If Diddy ever laid hands on Drake again, his family could be the ones paying the price. That was the code. For years, Jay Prince was Drake's invisible muscle, stepping in every time someone tried to cross the line, which is exactly why his silence now feels like a thunderclap. When Kendrick lit the fuse and warned Drake that he could drag things even darker if pushed, everyone expected Jay Prince to swoop in like always. But this time, nothing. Vanished. Gone like smoke in the air. And the whispers are only getting louder. Some say Jay Prince is biting his tongue because Kendrick might be holding dirt that ties him to something darker.
You ended the beef between Drake and Pusha.
I guess you could say that.
Because now, okay, there hasn't was there a phone call that happened?
Well, I had an opportunity to speak with Kanye, you know, and of course,
we heard Drake was saying he smashed Kim on the record. That's what we heard. Through the grapevine, that's what we heard. We don't know.
Never heard that.
I don't know. That's what we heard. That's what we heard. We don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. But I'm sorry.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That didn't, you know, that something didn't make sense for us.
Right.
And our movement, that was a moment, right? So we figured out how to circumvent that and keep it moving.
Because I'm gonna be honest, that takes a lot of restraint. It takes a lot of discipline. Because, you know, I don't with social media like that. I post or whatever, but I don't. But there's people who with that.
Yeah.
And if you lost on social media, sometimes you lose in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could imagine that week that you called Drake and was like, yo, we're not gonna respond.
Yeah.
Blah, say blah, whoop-de-whoop. How hard do you think it was? Because some people were saying that record couldn't have existed. Because if it existed, they don't care about Pusha T. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it existed, they would just drop it and just end Pusha T and Kanye if it existed. But then some people was like, yo, why didn't he respond? So what was that week like? Because I'm sure people was hitting you on that as well.
You know, that was a testament of the respect that he had for us. Because he wasn't trying to hit it.
Really, he wanted to drop. He's an artist.
Yeah, I mean, you know how that is. Hit you want to. So to me, that was a testament of the respect he had for me, and I had to like really, you know, let him know, okay, I really mean this.
Right.
You know what I mean? This don't make sense.
Right.
And when we put it on the scale, it didn't make sense. It was that simple.
It's kind of like when Jay overdid it with Nas with that second record, and he went to certain places about family and things like that. It kind of made him lose the beat by default because of him bringing in other family members and him doing that. Is that how you felt with Drake?
Well, in all losses, some losses are wins.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It depends on your thinking ability where all of that is concerned. And we, you know, we couldn't get...
Maybe even rumors swirling around Takeoff's tragic death. And when Kendrick spit venom on Euphoria, robbed his daddy and killed, he wanna be Junior, dementia must run in his family. Let it get shaky, I'll park his son. Those bars didn't just sound like lyrics. They sounded like loaded threats. The streets lit up with heavy speculation, and fans are convinced Kendrick's bars weren't random. They were aimed straight at Jay Prince and his son Jazz Prince. And here's why that cut so deep. Jazz was allegedly the one responsible for Takeoff protection on the night tragedy struck in Houston. For years, Houston and Atlanta shared a solid bond. But when Takeoff lost his life under what many assumed was Jay Prince's umbrella of security, the backlash was instant. Whispers spread that the shooter might have had ties to the Prince camp, and ever since, Atlanta folks have been side-eyeing the Princes. Suddenly, Jay Prince was drowning in rumors, accused of failing the very role he built his name on. With that kind of heat on him, protecting Drake was the last thing on Jay Prince's mind. But for Drake, the abandonment feels like betrayal. His raging left to battle Kendrick on his own without his industry father at his side. Word on the block says Drake tried flexing in Houston, banning Not Like Us in clubs and even debuting a new diss track in the city, hoping to rally the crowd. But H-Town wasn't buying it. DJs kept blasting Kendrick, crowds kept chanting, and locals mocked Drake for even thinking he could silence the city's anthem. In fact, people are openly clowning him, saying Drake doesn't run anything in Houston and never did. The receipts are everywhere. One Houston local said, "I live here and this is not the case. Not Like Us plays in all the lit spots." Another wrote, "Not Like Us gonna be played all the way through November. LOL. Homecoming season hasn't even started yet." The message couldn't be louder. Houston belongs to Kendrick right now, and Drake has no grip on the city. Insiders say the humiliation has him so pressed, he's ready to do the unthinkable, take subliminal shots at Jay Prince himself in his next diss. Meanwhile, Drake's been back on his favorite hobby, Instagram trolling. He liked a clip of a Dubai DJ clowning Cali gangs for needing to unite against a Canadian, and then he popped up in a mirror selfie, striking like an IG baddie in a two-pack only God can judge me tea. Pure bait for attention. Days later, a video went viral of a Drake impersonator performing Hotline Bling in a New York boxing gym. Instead of brushing it off, Drake reposted it with a cheeky Not Like Us lyric, writing, "Sometimes you've got to pop out." The irony? Every move Drake makes just keeps proving Kendrick's bars right. He really does look like the biggest fan. And then came the curveball. Jay Prince broke his silence with a video message, saying, "I'm making this to address the ongoing back and forth between me and Drake. Both of us have taken shots, but it's time to put it to rest. I'm asking Drake to join me on stage December 7th in LA to share the two biggest albums of the year, with the ultimate purpose being to free Larry Hoover." Prince framed it as unity, but the streets aren't buying it. They are saying Drake needs to wave the white flag, because Houston is clowning him harder than ever. Now the whispers are loud. Fans are calling him desperate, reminding him, "Houston's a strange city, you don't run anything out here, Drake." And the dangerous part? Insiders believe Drake's next diss won't just aim at Kendrick. It'll fire shots at Jay Prince, too, the same man who once shielded him from all industry smoke. That's dangerous ground, because beefing with Kendrick is one thing, but turning on Jay Prince? That could leave Drake exposed in ways as never been before. Rumors say Drake feels abandoned, betrayed, and now is plotting revenge by putting Prince on blast in the music. Some even whisper he might try exposing old ties between Prince and past street drama. But with Houston already shutting its doors on him, that move could be the nail in the coffin. And let's not forget, Kendrick's been sitting back calm, watching this whole storm unravel like a chess master waiting for the perfect strike. If Drake really dares to drag Jay Prince into the mix, Kendrick's response could be nuclear. Fans online are already warning him, with one writing, "If he pokes Prince, that's career suicide." Period. Right now, it feels like Drake's losing the grip on his own narrative. Instead of slowing down, he's doubling up, acting like he's ready to burn the whole industry just to prove a point. Word is, this new diss Drake's cooking up isn't just aimed at Kendrick and Jay Prince. Insiders claim it could rope in names who were never part of this war to begin with. Drake wants headlines, but the more names he drops, the more enemies he stacks against himself. Producers close to him say he's been pacing studios, venting non-stop about betrayal, ranting about how everyone turned on him. And that's why they are calling this next record his most ruthless yet. But here's the catch. Some believe Drake's overplaying his hand. Because when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, it wasn't just a diss track. It was an anthem, a cultural moment. Meanwhile, Drake's disses keep leaking early or landing with weak reactions, making him look desperate instead of dominant. Even his own fans are divided. Some beg him to chill before he self-destructs, while others are daring him to finally call out Jay Prince directly. One fan put it blunt, if Drake really goes at Prince, he better move out of Houston permanently. Another warned, this isn't rap beef anymore. This is survival. What's making it even scarier for Drake is Kendrick's silence. While Drake's online throwing jabs, posting selfies, and leaking snippets, Kendrick hasn't said a single word since Not Like Us. And that silence, it's louder than any diss. It feels like Kendrick is letting Drake unravel in public, all while plotting the next move in private. Industry voices are calling Kendrick's calm calculated. He doesn't need to rush. He already owns the streets with one record that's still shaking clubs every night. Every time a DJ spins Not Like Us, it's like Kendrick is reminding Drake he owns a moment without lifting a finger. Meanwhile, Drake's running himself ragged, shadowboxing a ghost. People close to him say the paranoia is real. He's second-guessing every move, stressing over when Kendrick might strike again. One fan summed it up. Kendrick doesn't even have to rap right now. Drake is battling his own shadow. Another added, this isn't a rap battle anymore. This is psychological warfare. Drake thought dropping this after this would bury Kendrick. Instead, it's making him look like the one scrambling for relevance while Kendrick plays a long game like a master strategist. Right now, the real question isn't even whether Drake can out-rap Kendrick. It's whether his entire legacy can survive this war. It was like some Houston club played a track that had Drake sounding like he was talking slick. And that's the thing. For years, Drake built himself up as untouchable, the biggest hitmaker of his generation, the guy who always came out on top no matter the beef. But this war with Kendrick, it's exposing cracks fans never thought they'd see. From that dead crowd reaction in Houston, to failing at banning Not Like Us in the clubs, to getting clowned non-stop online. Each misstep chips away at the aura of dominance Drake spent more than a decade building. Some are even calling this his jaw rule moment, that one feud that shifts the culture against him for good. Even his ties to J. Prince, once his strongest shield, now look fragile. If Drake dares to go at Prince, he risks burning a whole city that used to claim him. If he doesn't, it makes him look weak, crying betrayal without striking back. Either way, he's stuck in a lose-lose game. Fans online already call this the most dangerous chapter of Drake's career. One viral post said, if Kendrick doesn't end Drake, Drake might end himself. Another asked bluntly, is this a beginning of the end for the Sixth God? And here's the part people forget. Houston's culture is built on loyalty and strength. From Beyoncé to Solange, Barbara Jordan to Sheila Jackson Lee, powerful Houston women taught the city to never bow down. The second you think you're untouchable, that's when the city flips, exposes you, and reminds the world how foolish you really are. That same energy is surrounding Drake now. Because if J. Prince feels crossed, one thing's for sure, J. Prince will protect J. Prince first. Some fans say this isn't even about Drake versus Kendrick anymore. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and survival in Houston's ecosystem. One fan wrote, man, Houston's a heartbeat of the game. And Kendrick already told you, Not Like Us is still blasting in H-Town nonstop. Drake looks like a man testing the waters, trying to figure out who's still riding with him and who's ready to cut him loose. But the question is, what's the real reason J. Prince turned his back at the exact moment Drake needed him most? Is it Kendrick's influence? Is it old street ties catching up? Or is Drake finally paying the price for playing too many games? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. I want every angle. And while you're here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with your people. Turn on those notifications so you never miss the next update. And trust me, you'll want to check the video already playing on your screen.